What's going on? It's the Bearded One, and I'm not back with another beer review. First off, big Penguins fan, rest in peace to the 2019 Pittsburgh Penguins. All you haters out there, get your laughs in. We got swept by the New York Islanders. Pretty pathetic. It's tough out here being a Pittsburgh fan from Alabama. Anyways, got a special one here. I feel like that's like my catchphrase or something, but we're doing something different here today. Got a special video for you guys. It's not a formal review. I'm doing a new series called Beer Off, and Beer Off is where I will take two beers of the same styles and objectively compare them. The idea came in mind because of these two exact beers. In fact, this is going to be a total surprise. I'm not even going to put the names of the beers in the title of the video. I want it to be a total surprise. So, in one corner, we have Sam Adams Cold Snap. This is a Witbier, a white ale, Bavarian white beer. I've heard all sorts of things, but you'll most know this style of beer as white ale or wit beer. I'm not trying to get too much into detail or history, but this style came out of Germany, and America has really taken to the beer. In fact, the whole world has taken to the beer since about the 50s. The wit beer went extinct around, I don't want to say extinct, it went near extinct by the 1950s, and the gentleman who helped found the Hoegaarden brewery, and I believe Hoegaarden, Germany, resurrected the wit beer. So enough about history. And in the second corner, we have Einstock Icelandic white ale, and I'm gonna butcher this name, but Einstock is from Akureyri, Iceland. So if you're from Iceland, I'm sorry I butchered that pronunciation. I'm just a dumb, stupid American. Not much to say on the Cold Snap bottle. I know they used to say on these bottles that Cold Snap was meant to bring in the warm season, supposed to represent that final cold snap you get usually in the early to mid spring, and it's just their way of celebrating that. They've done their spin on it. They've added some cooking spices, and there's plum in here, so it's not just the generic malt, coriander, and orange peel, the big three that you'll get in a wit beer. I'm not sure what Einstock has done, but if you don't mind, I'll read the back of the can. Our quest was simple. We wanted to make the best white ale we ever tasted. We got there with the complex flavors of the classic wit beer, including orange peel and coriander, the big three. All brewed with pure Icelandic water and a touch of oats, so that's their spin on it. They put some oats in it that deliver a cool smoothness that is uniquely flavorful, and refreshingly drinkable. Love these two brands. I recommend them to anybody out there. I'm excited to drink these two beers because one of these beers is my favorite beer of all time as of this point. And let me go ahead and start pouring the beers. Again, not a formal review, so we're not going to discuss head, dissipation, carbonation, mouthfeel, appearance. We're going to get into the taste, and I'm going to decide which one I like best once and for all. These are my top two beers. I'm not going to say which one's my favorite, but these are my top two beers of all time. If you've watched the video, if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I like sweet malty stuff. I've said it several times throughout my video library. And so Witbier is like, to me, that perfect malty sweet beer. I'm sorry for all you beer aficionados out there, all you IPA lovers, you stout lovers, you porter lovers. I just don't get down on that kind of stuff. I will drink it. I will try to like it. I love exploring my palate. I love pushing what I think I like, testing new beers. But Witbiers, they're my jam. They are my jam. You can get this out of the way, and it will. See here, they are different in appearance. I have them in the same glasses. I just washed them in the dishwasher and the stuff falls off. So if you have stuff with like ironed on words on your glassware, hand wash them, or what you see here will happen to your glassware. Camera's out of focus. Hopefully, there it goes. So, when it comes to appearance, I like this one a little better. I just feel like it has some more character. This one seems a little more generic to me. When it comes to the nose, I prefer this one a little better than this one. Me just compare again. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting more of the malt and the spices in this one, and I'm getting more of the citrus and coriander in this one. Just my opinion. I don't have the best nose out there. I'm not a BJCP certified judge. Now we'll get into the taste. Oh, excuse me right quick. I'm going to pause the camera and I'm going to come back with a glass of water to kind of refresh the palate, kind of neutralize everything in between beers. Should have done that in the first place, and I apologize. Right back, guys. Camera coming to focus. Alright, maybe the camera will come into focus. There we go. Sorry, I was hoping I could make this a shorter video, but apparently it's going to be as long as everything else. Sorry, I just like to hear myself talk, apparently. So we'll go in, evaluate these flavor profiles again. Sorry if I'm not doing this correctly to all you BJCP judges out there. I'm aspiring to be a BJCP judge, by the way. So if you are one and you happen to see this video, maybe you can critique me on my process of evaluating beers back to back, because that's what I'll be doing in competitions. One more time. thinking of my answer, but I'm going to be fair to both beers. And give this one another swig. Okay. This beer is still my favorite beer of all time. Cold Snap. It's just the perfect balance of, well, I wouldn't say it's a perfect balance. There's not a lot of hoppy flavor in here. There's not a lot of bitterness in here to balance it out. To me, they found a way to make it sweet and bready, but it doesn't feel like I'm drinking like a soda or something. It doesn't, like, it still feels naturally sweet, if that makes any sense. It doesn't taste artificially sweet. I just think the edge here for me, and I can barely taste the hops on the back end. I just think the hops to malt ratio, I prefer it more in this one. It makes it a little thicker in my opinion. I like that they have the spices in there, and then there's plum in here as well, so that gives it that extra edge that I just prefer myself. This one is more of a traditional wit beer. They're from Europe, and they definitely pay homage to the European roots that this style has. This is lighter on the viscosity. It's barely, I would almost say there's minimal filtering in this, because I can see through it. I mean, barely. It almost looks like cloudy water instead of this beer, where I can't see anything through it. Got that typical unfiltered look here. And it's a little, I don't know, I feel like they filtered something out of this, which is fine. Even though I'm a purist and I get technical and nerdy about my beer, I really don't care how close they got it to the original recipe or whatever. I think what knocks this beer for me, there's just a tad bit more hops in here. Yeah, I can kind of taste the hops more in here. And then I'm not big on the viscosity. When I'm drinking unfiltered beers or beers that are cloudy, I just have it wired in my brain that they need to be a little thicker, a little creamier, maybe possibly even big and thick and chewy, just depending on the type of beer it is. That's just a personal preference. That's just something I have hardwired in my brain. And so for that, the viscosity kind of takes it down a notch for me. And then I don't feel like I get orange peel in here. Yeah, my buddy, my best friend actually knocks this beer. Sorry, there's a storm outside and some thunder distracted me. But there's a lot of coriander in here. I can taste it. Now I prefer it, but my best friend knocks it for that. And I think that would have to bring it down a notch for me as well. I'm going to wrap it up here. Einstock, White Ale, Cold Snap, Sam Adams Cold Snap, excuse me. They're both great beers. I believe my first ever rating on Untapped, I gave this a 5 out of 5. Still stand by that. I don't think I'll ever, I mean, unless they tinker with the recipe and do something I don't like, I don't think I'll ever not consider this, excuse me, I don't think I'll ever not consider this the perfect beer. But life's a journey. I'm always hoping to find that beer that I can kind of get over this with, and you know, just for fun. I'm always looking to beat the best. You know, there's always room for improvement. You never arrive, as some people say. This beer, I think my first rating on Untapped, I gave it a 4.75. You know, I could take it up to a 5. I mean, it's just that good to me. It's a slightly different version of this, same style though, not too far off from each other. They just had their own quirks and twists. They put on a classic, great example of beer. I could recommend either of these to beginners. I could recommend either of these to people looking to try a wit beer. Just in my opinion, from what I've drank, and I've drank Hoegaarden, I've had, I mean, I'm not a connoisseur, I'm not an expert, I'm not going to brag about it, but I consider myself knowledgeable enough on wit beers than I am on anything else. And in my opinion, these are two of the best examples of the wit beer. That is all for tonight. Hopefully I can get back on track with these reviews. I'm sorry, I put these out sporadically. I don't really have a schedule. I just kind of review these when I can. Hit that subscribe button if you like this stuff. Tell me if you like this beer off. I know I'm not the first person to do something like this. Definitely won't be the last, but it's something new, different for my channel. You know, figure something people can enjoy. Let me know if you like the idea. Let me know if you hate it. If you like my channel, if you hate my channel, just let me know. I'm a fan of constructive criticism. I'm always looking to improve myself. Until next time, guys. Cheers.